Are the Democrats now becoming more moderate? I don't know about all that. I mean, if you heard Hillary Clinton's speech, and there's been recently an interview with Obama, they've kind of changed their tune. You know, when Obama was shaming black men for not voting for Kamala because she's a black woman, saying they should vote for her because I guess they're black, really, which was weird to me, but that's what he was insinuating. And then Hillary Clinton coming out and saying we need reasonable regulation on immigration. And so was Obama. He was saying that. And Obama was saying that being extreme about it and not accepting that there needs to be some compromise and some solutions, that it's been too much immigration in the United States. Pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he's saying. He's saying you're not going to win elections like that. So what he's really saying is we can't be too far left if we want to continue to stay in power and make a difference. I actually agree with him on that, but I don't know if I believe him, because maybe not him so much, but more so the Democratic Party. But then him and Hillary are kind of the unofficial spokespeople for the Democrats. And Hillary was going on about the immigration situation and saying how it needs to be regulated and it needs to be controlled in a humane way, things of that nature. Now I'm paraphrasing. And immediately after she made that speech, she spoke with I think the transgender congressman or woman, I'm not quite sure, because until you talk to that person, you don't know whether or not you're offending them. This is just based on what they say to people when I see them say it. I'm not here to offend anybody. If someone is, you can be who you want to be, but you can't necessarily make me say things that you want me to say, just like I can't make you say things you don't want to say. And they spoke with the Congress, I guess I'll say woman, because I'm not sure. Congresswoman was saying how that when people attack transgenders, that attacks biological women. And I don't quite understand this, and I don't mean this in a nasty way. I'm not trying to be controversial whatsoever. I don't understand how a biological man being able to use the advantages of being a biological woman and take advantage of the protections and the opportunities of a biological woman makes sense to me. If that's the case, then why are there any extra benefits and protections for women, i.e. from scholarships to job opportunities? Because people want inclusion and they want women in their workplaces and things of that nature. If you can just say a biological man can do that, how is that not against biological women? You see, I don't understand that, because it doesn't logically follow. And that's because you're saying that somebody discriminating against a biological man presenting as a biological woman is going to be bad for women, whilst using the access that biological women have without being a biological woman. You understand, it's more complicated than I think it needs to be. And the message is very, I wouldn't say nonsensical. It's just not adding up. And I think that's part of the reason, you know, they're trying to not be so far left. But if you're going to say we need to be reasonable on immigration and then go immediately into that, they're kind of in the same territory. Either they don't understand or don't want to change. And I think that's the actual problem when you think about it. This isn't heat. This is just a confusing message. If I was running a business, that would be confusing to my customers. If your message is you're going to be more moderate, but then you say anybody can be a woman, how is that moderate? That's extreme. That's extremely liberal, isn't it? And it's actually, I would say, it's kind of against women. Because then I myself could say that I'm a woman, and then I get to take advantage and be in women's spaces and everything. That just doesn't add up, does it? Doesn't make sense. I don't know how that's better for women. I don't know how that's better for women, and I don't know how someone telling me that I can't do that isn't better for women. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not even me being nasty. It's just a very confusing, and it to the average person is just going through their day working and paying taxes does not make sense. For one, they don't have time to worry about these things because they got to pay bills and live. And two, they just want opportunities. And when they hear things like that, then what does an opportunity mean if your identity, your literal physical identity, doesn't actually matter or mean anything? When it does. It just does. My thing with this is, though, if I was to say I was a middle-aged white man, for that matter, they would say you can't do that. They would say I was being silly and things of that nature. And then I go, well, why not? But then they'll start showing, well, you got brown skin and things of that nature. Start saying stuff like that. Matter of fact, they get really offended when you say that. I don't know why. Because if the case is you could say you could be any gender you want to be, then why can't you be any race you want to be? Because let's be honest, just because you're a certain skin tone doesn't mean you're part of a particular racial group, does it? There's dark-skinned South Asians and there's dark-skinned Australians. They're not the same ethnic group, are they? So race isn't just color. It's ethnicity, it's language, it's the region that you're from. It's a social construct, though. Whereas biology, whether I like it or not, or admit it or not, I can't change that I'm a man. I was born that way. I will always be that way. If I did try to, I'd be simply just having myself mutilated to appear that way. I can't change it. And I actually, I feel for people that think they can and feel they're in the wrong body. There's no hate there. I think it's a serious situation, and I'm not here to make fun of it like that. It's just I just think it's not good. I don't think it's good for the person that feels that way. I can only imagine it's a terrible feeling to feel. However, it doesn't make you the thing you think you are. There are some limitations that cannot be passed, you can't change, you can't do anything about. And with biology, that's just the way biology is. You can't really change it. It's out of our hands. It's not something we can control. We can carve it up and call it something and pretend it's something, but you're born the way you're born. And you have to learn to try to accept that as best you can.